Let's start with this concrete act of solidarity. Nearly 200 million CFA francs. That's the cost of the electrical equipment and water purification kits handed over this afternoon to the Burkinabe Armed Forces. This equipment helps to strengthen the operational capacities of the troops on the ground. This gesture from the Russian Federation once again illustrates the excellence of cooperation along the axis. Ouagadougou-Moscow. Thank you.
The Ouagadougou-Moscow axis is doing wonderfully. This statement takes on its full meaning through this show of solidarity demonstrated by the Russian Federation towards the Burkinabe army. This donation, worth about 200 million CFA francs, consists of 10 generators, 15 electrical transformers, and 150 water purification kits.
These essential humanitarian goods were handed over today as a sincere gesture of goodwill. They are part of a series of much larger scale and comprehensive humanitarian projects whose successful implementation has been made possible, thanks to the formal agreements reached between the Ministers of Defense of Russia and Burkina Faso during their official meeting in August 2025. The successful implementation and execution of these humanitarian and social projects also represents an absolutely vital and significant milestone in achieving the broader goals of long-term prosperity, sustainable development, and social stability for the people of Burkina Faso.
To this equipment is added the renovation of social infrastructure. The second phase includes the construction of school facilities and various civil-military actions. All these initiatives demonstrate the vitality and diversity of cooperation between the two nations.
And on a practical level, this equipment will be deployed in areas facing significant security challenges, both for the benefit of local populations and also for the combat forces deployed in those areas, where access to electricity and access to clean water are major challenges. So I can say that this equipment has arrived at just the right time. And also, this equipment will be important for us in carrying out our operational activities.
Under the leadership of Captain Ibrahim Traoré, Burkina Faso has firmly chosen to diversify its partnerships. And according to the commander of the Central Army Group, this humanitarian donation is proof that with the Russian Federation, the land of upright people has found an ally convinced that victory is achieved not only through weapons, but also through the well-being and resilience of the population.
Africa is changing. Not in speeches, not in promises, but in decisions. For decades, the Sahel has been treated like a forgotten battlefield, a place of endless crisis, endless poverty, endless dependency. But today, something different is happening. Burkina Faso is making a bold move, a move that signals a new direction, a move that tells the world, we will no longer fight with empty hands. Russia has reportedly extended its cooperation with Burkina Faso not just with weapons but with generators, electrical transformers, and water purification systems. Let that sink in. This is not just about war. This is about power, water, logistics, survival, and sovereignty. And behind this cooperation lies a deeper story. A story of Africa choosing new partners, new paths, and a new future. Today, we're not just talking about geopolitics, we're talking about what this means for the Sahel, for Africa, and for African independence. The Sahel region has been under pressure for years. Terrorism, insecurity, weak infrastructure, foreign military bases, broken promises. For too long, African soldiers have been sent into dangerous terrain without enough power, water, or logistical support. How do you secure remote areas without electricity? How do you protect communities without clean water? How do you operate effectively when your bases can't even run properly? This is the side of war nobody talks about. You can have brave soldiers, but without logistics, bravery alone is not enough. Burkina Faso knows this, and that is why this new cooperation is strategic, not cosmetic. Generators mean energy, transformers mean infrastructure. Water purification systems mean life. This is about making the army functional in reality, not just on paper. Burkina Faso and Russia have now agreed on closer military cooperation under a new strategic partnership signed in Moscow. This replaces the old framework. That means one thing. This is not business as usual. This is a reset. The focus is on joint security efforts, counter-terrorism, support, logistical and infrastructure capacity, operational effectiveness in remote and high-risk areas. But here's the deeper message. Africa is diversifying its partnerships. For decades, many African countries were told, you only have one direction to look. You only have one model to follow. You only have one set of partners. Now that narrative is collapsing. Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger, and others are saying, we choose who we work with. That is what sovereignty looks like. Not shouting slogans, not begging for approval, but making independent strategic decisions. Here's where it gets really interesting. This partnership is not only about defense. Burkina Faso and Russia are also planning to expand economic cooperation, coordinate media efforts, strengthen broader strategic ties. Why does media matter? Because Africa has been losing the information war for decades. Other people tell Africa's story. Other people define Africa's struggles. Other people frame Africa's leaders, choices, and movements. Now countries in the Sahel are saying, we want to control our narrative. That's powerful, because real independence is not just controlling your borders or controlling your resources. It's also controlling your story, controlling your image, controlling your message to the world. And economically, this signals something even bigger. This is about breaking dependency cycles and building new strategic corridors. Not just aid, not just loans, but partnerships with interests and leverage. Let's be honest. West Africa is going through a historic realignment. Old alliances are being questioned. Old systems are being challenged. Old power structures are being shaken. The Sahel is no longer just reacting. It is repositioning. Burkina Faso strengthening ties with Russia is not happening in isolation. It's part of a wider movement where African states are saying, we want options. We want respect. We want partners, not masters. This doesn't mean Africa is choosing one side forever. It means Africa is finally playing the geopolitical game instead of being played. And that's a big difference. When you have options, you have bargaining power. When you have alternatives, you have leverage. When you have confidence, you have direction. To the young African watching this is not just news. This is history in motion. You are witnessing a region trying to stand on its own feet. A generation of leaders rewriting alliances. A continent slowly learning to negotiate from strength. But here's the real question. Will Africa stop at military cooperation? Or will we push for our own factories, our own energy systems, our own technology, our own industrial power? Because true security is not only about soldiers. It's about jobs, industry, infrastructure, and dignity. If Africa can secure itself, it must also build itself. Burkina Faso's growing cooperation with Russia is not just a headline. It's a signal. A signal that Africa is rethinking its alliances, redefining its interests, reclaiming its strategic space. This is not about loving one power or hating another. This is about Africa, choosing what works, what strengthens us, what moves us forward. The Sahel is speaking. The old order is shaking, and a new African confidence is rising. The real question is not, who is Africa partnering with? The real question is Africa finally partnering with its own future?
Thank you.